Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Field and Monarchs Live. You're on Facebook and YouTube Live here on the Monarchs Broadcast Network. Dan Vaughn with you, voice of the Monarchs. Glad you're along tonight. And I promised at lunch today we would have something update-wise around the top of the hour, which is just about 4 minutes ago. And usually Jackson will join me in this segment, but he'll be joining me in the broadcast tonight because there's a lot to get to, and I want to get the news to you, and we will get that. A lot of things happening today, post All-Star break for the Kansas City Monarchs. A very busy day. Things coming at you pretty quickly in this league anyway, right? I mean, the ebbs and flows of a league, you get one game behind you, and you got one more to go, and it just kind of keeps flowing at you like that, and that is sort of what's happened here today. I mentioned today around lunchtime that Kansas City had to eat Matt Hall. Now, that should come as not much of a surprise. I'm going to check the audio here, by the way, to make sure we're getting me here, which I do believe we are. But let's see here. Should already have this pulled up, but I didn't have it pulled up, so let me pull it up here. But I mentioned, and again, this was not really one of those things that we kept under wraps. As I mentioned over the weekend, that when we were in Lincoln, that make sure. Yep, here we go. Here we go. I mentioned in Lincoln over the weekend that Matt Hall was acting as a pitching coach. Matt Hall's been signed today. Hall will be active tonight, and Hall will start tonight. And I told you guys this at Monarchs Mocha at lunchtime that Hall would be the starter tonight. Now, Hall goes in the rotation. He also becomes the team's pitching coach. So Matt Hall, welcome him back from the Giants organization. And Hall, who's 8-1 as a Monarch, by the way, combining postseason, regular season. He's been great in his time here. He goes right in the number one spot in the bullpen. That's piece number one. Everything else will be breaking news time. And let me give all this to you. There's a lot to get to here. So let me go ahead and break the news here to you. Here we go. Let's do a little breaking news sounder. We're going to breaking news from here at the ballpark today. I love my production value, right? I love my production value. So let's give it to you. The Monarchs have made a couple moves today, and the first one that probably that you should know about. There's two. First off, Gabby Guerrero has been placed on the inactive list. Now, Gabby will, for all practical purposes, we're going to hear from Joe Capietra at 6:35 on the top step. He'll talk more about that. But for all practical purposes, Gabby's body's just given out. He is going to retire. And so Gabby Guerrero is no longer a Monarch. An active list in case he heals up or changes his mind. So the Monarchs do have his rights. But Gabby Guerrero announcing his retirement today. And we will get that press release out during the portion probably tomorrow morning, more likely, after this kind of resonates a bit. That's piece number one. Number two, the piece of the day, Akeem Bostic's been traded to the Atlantic League. Now, Bostic going to the Kentucky Wild Health Gnomes, and that's where he's going, the Atlantic League. There are two teams there in Kentucky, one in Lexington, one in, they both play at the same ballpark. He is going to play there in the Atlantic League. Joe also talks about that in the top step, which we taped about an hour or two ago. I can tell you these two moves for him today were personal and they were emotional. I will tell you that. I was in the room with him during the interview. I think Adam was also down there. Can tell you that Adam, who shot the interview, you could feel the emotion from Joe. You know, Joe's an emotional guy anyway, and these are two moves to him that were very personal, and he'll talk about those on the top step tonight on MixLR. But again, to recap the moves, and we're not done yet, but those moves, Bostic traded today, Gabby Guerrero stepping aside, stepping down, and retiring basically is what the word is. The good news is Matt Hall has been added. Also, Jacob Lindgren's been off the inactive was injured, inactive, now into the active roster. So Lindgren going to the bullpen was having a very good year in that left-handed spot roll down there. The matchup guy on the left-handed side, he comes back tonight for Kansas City. The only other thing to note as well, Cam Hill has been placed on the injured list. Hill had an MRI today. Joe does talk about that in the top step as well from your Swope Health Report, brought to you by Swope Health. This is what healthy feels like, the exclusive health card partner of your Monarchs. But he has been placed on the injured list. But to recap the news today, Matt Hall added the roster starting tonight, and we talked about that at lunch. Gabby Guerrero placed on the active list, retirement. Akeem Boston was traded to Kentucky in the Atlantic League, and Jacob Lindgren activated off the inactive list, with Cam Hill getting placed on the injured list today. Those are all the Monarchs moves prior to the ballgame, which takes us to the ballgame. And the first of a 3-game series of the Lake Country Knockouts, their first ever trip here. They've got an interesting ball club. They are bringing in a guy, Carson Goldsmith, who pitched in this league in 2017. Haven't seen him since then. Last time he pitched against the Kansas City club, they were called the T-Bones. And it was in year 1 with Joe Campiatra. That's how long ago it's been. He comes in, young man who grew up in Texas, Austin area. He'll pitch tonight, right-hander going for the Knockouts, facing Matt Hall. Hall, who's 8-1 as a Monarch. His last start for Kansas City was against Chicago back on June 10th. He faced Lake Country the week prior as well. So he has some recent seen this ball club of Jim Bennett's ball club, the Lake Country Knockouts, who are a little different looking what we saw back, about 5 weeks ago. They are going through a bit of a transition as well, trying to get their season turned around. With 4 teams in the postseason, they're not too far off the pace as far as trying to get back in things in the East. Monarchs card tonight brought to you by Price Chopper. Donald Swinney leads off at left. Chad De La Guerra will be at second base. By the way, Chad last weekend did set a new franchise record for walks in a ballgame at 5, and he also tied an association mark at 5. John Hernandez had a very good all-star game. He'll be in right field, batting third. Matt Adams is your DH. He bats fourth for Kansas City, your DH and all-star as well. David Thompson, the home run derby champion. He bats in the 5 spot. He'll be at third base. Casey Gillespie bats 6th. Casey's at first base. Willie Abreu patrolling center. He'll bat 7th. Pete Cosmo batting 8th. He'll be at short. And Alexis Almeida catching tonight. He'll bat 9th for Kansas City. Darnell Swinney, Chad De La Guerra, John Hernandez, Matt Adams, David Thompson, Casey Gillespie. That'll be Willie Abreu, Pete Cosmo, and Alexis Almeida from here at Legends Field. Gates opened about 11 minutes ago, and I'd love to have you out tonight. It's a Thirsty Thursday night. Those draft specials going till 8 o'clock downstairs right below us, so come and see us. Still time to grab those tickets at monarchsbaseball.com, or just walk on down to Gate B and say, hey, I want to see the Monarchs play the Lake Country Knockouts, and you'll be coming to see us tonight here at Legends Field. Can't make it out? You're watching us perhaps worldwide. We'll be on AA Baseball TV. That'll come your way about 15 till the top of the next hour. On the radio side starts in about 20 minutes or so. I still got to tape 101 and still got to tape your flashback moments. So I got to bolt, get going, get the pregame rolling at 6:35. Jackson will join us with Jamison McGrain. That'll be the Monarchs Dugout Report. And also got Joe Campiatra's Top Step. And we also got your association numbers, all that tonight on the Monarchs Broadcast Network. Those links right here, let me give those to you so you can check them out. And we'd love to have you join us on the broadcast tonight. AA Baseball TV, that's AA Baseball TV. That comes your way on the video side. And, of course, you want to chat with us here the entire pre- and post-game, you can do that on our radio app, which is MixLR. I'll give that to you in a moment. I talk about this a lot. Just to get the MixLR app, mute it, watch the AA Baseball TV. You can chat back and forth with us on our broadcast tonight and have the best of both worlds tonight. But again, AA Baseball TV and, of course, MixLR, our audio app, which is basically it's our radio call for your Kansas City Monarchs. And that begins at 6:35, actually 6:30, pardon me. I forgot we're at home. So it's 18 minutes. I got to go. Again, to recap the news today, Kansas City has signed Matt Hall. He will start tonight. Akeem Boston traded to the Atlantic League. Gabby Guerrero on the inactive list. He is retiring from baseball, we do believe. Also, Jacob Lindgren back on the active roster. And then Cam Hill on the injured list for Kansas City. I'll get you all caught up here for the Monarchs and the Lake Country Knockouts. Their first ever trip to Legends Field in Kansas City as we faced these guys about 5 weeks ago there in Wisconsin. Well, they returned the favor here in Kansas City. Look forward to seeing the broadcast tonight. And Jackson will be by doing his thing as always. We'll invite you to join us right here on the Kansas City Monarchs Broadcast Network. And ready for some 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs. I'm ready. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs. I'll see you in the broadcast. Night, everybody.